Lackadad. Hello and welcome to Guy Talk. Today we're going to talk about the impact of Lackadad or fatherlessness on our society. By the way, I want to give credit to Michael Jr. out there for coining the phrase Lackadad. All right, by the way, I've had a couple inquiries about who is this guy, what's he all about. Go back and watch the first episode. We give a great introduction to who I am, who we are, what we're all about, what we're going to be doing. All your questions probably be answered there. All right, the impact of growing up without a father in the home is devastating. I also mean the homes where the father is physically there, but not there in any other way. Probably wondering, what do you mean? Well, we got plenty of dads that are in the home, but they're not engaged, they're not involved, they're not actively pursuing their children and helping them become the men and women that they were designed to be. Of course, there are exceptions, but the rule stands. Fatherlessness is devastating our society. Now, I just want to say up front, I know that my perspective on this is a lot different than most of you. I've been very blessed to have had both parents in the home my entire life. My parents were married over 50 years. I grew up with 4 older sisters and 2 younger brothers. My wife and I have been married for over 30 years. We have 3 boys, 27, 24, and 21 years old. We now have 2 grandchildren. We've been very involved in our kids' lives and our grandkids' lives. I realize how fortunate I am, and I know a lot of you did not have that situation. I just want you to know that you can end the Lackadad cycle in your family. But you got to fight hard as a father for your position and role in your kids' lives. Let's take a look at the devastating results of Lackadad. Fatherless children are 5 times as likely to live in poverty, to have to repeat a grade in school, and have emotional problems. That one right there should do it for you. But let's go on. 33% of the 72 million children in America will go to bed tonight without their biological father in the home. That's devastating, not having the impact of a dad in their life. 40% of the children who live in absentee father households haven't even seen their father in at least a year. A year, they haven't even seen him in a year. 50% of those children do not live with their fathers, have never stepped foot in their father's home. What's the result? Here it is. 93% of people in jail are men. 93%. And out of that 93% of people in jail that are men, 85% have no father figure in their life. There it is. You want your kid to end up in jail? Dads, be involved with your kids' lives. Teens who have religious fathers, spiritual fathers, are more likely to say they enjoy spending time with dad and they admire him. 24.7 million children, that's 36.3% of all children, live absent from their biological father. Devastating. There's almost 17 million children living with single mothers. What's the result? 4 times greater chance of living in poverty. 7 times greater chance that your child becomes pregnant as a teenager. More likely to have behavioral problems. More likely to face abuse and neglect. 2 times greater risk of infant mortality. Think about that. More likely to abuse drugs and alcohol when no father's in the home. More likely to go to prison when no father's in the home. You're 2 times more likely to suffer from obesity with no father in the home. More likely to commit crimes without the impact of a father. 2 times more likely to drop out of high school. Folks, it's devastating. Involved dads improve their children's overall emotional and social well-being. Children with involved dads are less likely to be mistreated. Children who live with their dads, they do better in school. Adolescent teen boys who live with their dads are less likely to carry guns or deal drugs. Children with imprisoned fathers are more likely to be depressed. No surprise there. Men with absent fathers are more likely to become absent fathers themselves. If your father's not around, there's a good chance you may not be around. We've got to end that cycle, men. We're going to talk about how to do that. Women with absent fathers are more likely to have children with absent fathers. Devastating. Daughters are less likely to engage in risky sexual behavior when they have consistent contact and a sense of closeness with their dads. Here it is. As a society, we've got to fight for our fathers. We must turn this trend in the other direction. The effects of fatherlessness are devastating on our society. I wonder how many of those rioters and looters and vandals and arsonists in the streets had a good, strong dad in their home. I know you're like me wondering, where's the parents of these kids out there? I guarantee you that's a very low number. Those who have a father in the home, that father's probably absent. He's there, but he's not really there. And the others, most likely, no dad in the home at all. That number's probably less than 5%. It's so important to speak into the lives of young people in our neighborhoods and communities that do not have strong male role models, and that's a ton of them. What about you? Whose life can you speak into? What kid can you put your arm around and begin to do some man training? What we need is men willing to do some man training. We will have information and opportunities in future episodes to help dads become better fathers. So, have I lost my mind on this? You think I'm overstating it? The impact of fatherlessness or Lackadad on our society? I can tell you right now, pretty much all the problems we have out there are directly related to this issue. We got to fix it. We're going to talk about how to do that. In the meantime, we're trying to gain momentum for the channel. We want you to hit that comment button. Look at the comment section, make some comments, share this video, hit the subscribe button and the bell so we can notify you when our next episode comes out. Until then, God bless you and your families.